What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. SBK! Kick the beat. So, man, you know I'm from the 90s. And I stopped the show. I mean, I know y'all wondering how I'm 40 and I look this good. If I was you, I would ask that same question, but I'm from the 90s, man, and I saw a lot of things come up through the 90s. You know, there was Mark Echo, you know, there was Carl Kanai clothing, there was Sean John, but I think the most impact on the hip hop community and black entrepreneurship was that of FUBU.
What the hell are you wearing? Boo-foo! Boo-foo?
By us, fuck you!
And FUBU was a company that came out of New York, and what happened was they were not doing so well, and LL Cool J, from what I remember, LL Cool J was at a video shoot, and Daymond John gave him a t-shirt, and then once he wore that shirt on that music video, when they went to Las Vegas, like the Las Vegas clothing fair or something like that, FUBU had like $1 million in orders, right? And the rest is history. And Daymond John became one of the greatest influencers of our generation. I mean, he's an excellent entrepreneur. He's been on Shark Tank. And, you know, Daymond John was the person that really came out and showed black entrepreneurs, even people like myself who, you know, have a black community feel, even on social media content. He taught me that, hey, you know, I can come out and market directly to my people, and there's a market. There's an unlimited market for the African-American community. And I really like that about him, right? I really like that about him. And, you know, outside of that, you know, I believe he was married before to an African-American wife. That was something that I believe he was married before, but he's married now to a Caucasian wife. And, you know, Mrs. John, as you can see in this picture, is Caucasian, very attractive. And I made a video about this about 5 years ago on this channel. And Daymond John, every time he seems to post a picture with his Caucasian wife, there's a lot of backlash, primarily because Mr. John is worth about $300 to $400 million. But I was on Patreon, and one of my Patreon subscribers sent me this particular message. And shout out to brother YOLO City. And he says this: Day music! Daymond John posts a picture of his wife, and guess who's mad? So I went to Facebook and I saw a lot of these comments that I want to review. And of course, most of these comments come from Sistas, but I want you to look at the original post that Mr. John put up before we get into the comments, and let's kind of read them here. Day music! Never above me, never below me, always by my side. Oh, can I get an "aw" sound effect? I mean, that was nice. I mean, that was very romantic. Now that summer's over and we all get back on the grind, I reflect on the last year and a half tested every couple's dedication. Some unfortunately could not endure the pressure, changes, and conflicts. Others are blessed by realizing they can truly trust and depend on the one that they need the most. I'm fortunate to be one of the blessed ones. Thank you, Heather John, for being by my side every step of the way. You are a handful, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. Feel free to tag that person that stood by your side during these crazy times. They deserve it. Have a great week, the Johns.
You are so beautiful to me.
So, let me just say this. Most of the comments were positive. But there were people, both men and women, who took umbrage with Mr. John. And Mr. John is no stranger to, you know, this particular community. You know, he watches some of the stuff over here from what I've been told. So if you're here, brother, you know, shouts out to you. I think that Mr. John is getting a lot of heat from these sisters because of what his company was started by. Now, anyways, it doesn't matter if he was a black guy that's successful and had a white woman, he would still get heat. But the reality is that Daymond John started a company called For Us By Us, and then he went and did For Us By Them, according to most, and got a white woman, right? I think that's what people want to look at as the hypocrisy. But I want to review some of these comments, some of which he actually shot back at people, okay? So he was actually roasting in the comment section. So this sister goes, "Day music, why is it when black men are rich, they always want a white woman?" And Daymond John himself replies, "Why is it that all after the pain and racism that black people endure and fight against, we are quick to point out race as an issue when two people of different color that love each other, not hurting anybody and are raising a God-worshiping mixed baby? Why do we do that to each other? Yet others want to respect us. Don't become the thing that you're fighting against." Again, I'm gonna say this. I understand what he's saying. I don't agree with that. I think that's bullshit.
See, now that's some bullshit.
And I really am inspired by Mr. John, but that's bullshit, right? Because you came up with a company called Forward's Bias. Okay, now you're changing the narrative. They're saying that, and the reason why you put Forward's Bias was because of the racism that black people endured and fought against. Your market was the black community, okay? Now all of a sudden you're quick to point out race as an issue. Well, that's what FUBU was about, right? It was an issue for us, by us. Now all of a sudden it's raising a God-worshiping mixed baby. Now it's, but again, unless your position has changed, the reason why you came out with FUBU was for us bias. You didn't come out with FUBU because of something else. That's what you did. I don't have a problem with the interracial relationship. I think that this explanation, it goes against everything that made him rich in his initial investment, which was FUBU. You know, I mean, he has other things going on then, but it doesn't make sense. Your company came to the black community's aid and defense to create something for the culture that was built on racism, and you wanted that to be a separate clothing line from the others because of that. I just don't get it, but okay, fine. Now, then you hear this other one that says, "Day music, your last photo is inappropriate. Why sexualize your wife for public consumption?" He says, "You don't want to see what I do when we sexualize each other growing up." Can I get a ooh sound effect? I mean, I agree with that. Like, he has fun and he's a nice guy and everything like that. Let's go over some of the other comments. This sister goes, "FUBU, yeah, right." And the guy goes, "Don't hate, congratulate." And that was a white guy. He was like trolling the whole post. And this white guy goes again and says, "I love it when black chicks hate on white women that date black dudes. This Negro, no wonder he recanted. He got the ultimate prize of a made in America Negro." And then also there is this other thread. "Love isn't blind. White women always fall for rich black men. Rarely for the broke ones. Is their love really blind?" And so I want to talk about this also. Mr. John, and I believe his first wife is African American. He did a lot for the African American community, you know. But I think that he should understand why people take umbrage with his mate. He's free to do what he wants, but I mean, obviously, just like any other community of people that are underserved. You know, if you're a person that comes from, you know, a community where people don't have a lot and you become successful and your community helps you become successful and you have a brand like FUBU, and then you get a white woman or a white man, yeah, people are gonna have a problem with it. I'm gonna give you an example. What's this company, Shea Butter, okay? Shea Oil, whatever it was called. I forgot what it was called. It was Shea Moisture. So this company had been marketing extensively to black women for many years. West African brother came in and started that company. Then they had a ad that appealed to white women trying to grow their customer base, and black women were furious. They're like, "Listen, we've been supporting you all this time. How dare you position your products to a group of people that haven't been supporting you?" And I think that's what the black community is saying to Daymond John. And I think that's what we see a lot. I think that in our community, we see a lot of brothers get on from the black community, and then they use it as a selling point, and then they're made as something different. But let me say this in Mr. John's defense, in case he's watching the video. Mr. John did have an African-American woman, okay? I believe their first marriage ended in divorce, so at least he tried to do that. And I guess as you get older, right, you see the world a little bit different. His first position on that, I thought that he could have made a better response if he's gonna respond to that. I thought that was rather weak. But I think that Mr. John, you know, to be honest, He's a shorter man, things like that. Whether he's gonna be dealing with a good-looking black woman or not, you know, based on his height and stuff like that, you know, guys like him get discriminated against. All right, let's just be real. So maybe he feels culturally more connected to her. You know, his opportunities are not the same as they were when he first started out in Queens. You know, he's been all over the world. He sees the world a lot different now than what he did before. And money and connections can do that for you. His world's not the same anymore. He doesn't have the same experience that he did maybe like 30 years ago. I mean, that's fine and dandy, right? But I do understand why people as a pro-black would try to hold him accountable for, hey, you're pushing this Caucasian lady in our face, and you know, you should be sticking with our people because we are the ones who made you, who got you on. So, I mean, I understand both arguments. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for Mr. John. He's a wonderful entrepreneur. I would love to talk to him one day. And like I said, I don't have any problem with him. I think that he did a lot for our community. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I really appreciate you for all that you're doing. Subscribe, check out the first comment pin at the top, check out the Patreon, check out the black mid-perf t-shirts. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high.